Who's this? Are we doing another one? Yeah. Yeah, we're doing another one. We're doing Nishi too. Stand switching. Yakuza 0 stole ideas from this game. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? You shouldn't, because it's not true. Talking about DeviantArt. Crazy shit, man. The stuff you do in the search for, like, just wanting to be a comic artist. I never even wanted to be a comic artist before. I wanted to be a game designer. That's what I used to do as a kid all the time. I used to just, like, sit there for hours and hours just, like, planning games and stuff when I was, like, little. Crazy. I still do that sometimes, too, to help me, like, plan out the stories. I still, like, plan it as games. Because it's just natural for me to do that now. Like, it helps me visualize it a lot more. It's nice. It's just, I wish I was I wish I was as good at writing a story and actually making one as I was at, like, planning a story. Because I can plan the stories, I can plan the character and all this shit to a decent degree. But, like, when it comes to actually, like, executing it, that's when I struggle. That's when I just really cannot. I just can't get my head around it. Like, I just rush stuff because I want to get to the good stuff. But then it's like, oh, I have to do the boring beginning bits. Or, like, I have an idea for a story. Like, my comic Seed of Life was supposed to be a little bit more silly at the start. It's always been very melodramatic. And it's like, I don't like that. I want it to be a bit more, like, silly, a bit more lighthearted. You know, just have a bit more, like, niceness to it. Instead of it just being so dark from the get-go. It's like, that's not how it's supposed to go. That's why I'm restarting it for the 7th time. To, like, to try and get that proper vibe from Seed of Life I always wanted. The name of Seed of Life as well is very, very funny. Like, it's a story about, like, you know, crazy bullshit fighting and stuff, and, like, it's ridiculous. It all came from, originally Seed of Life was going to be a story about Taekwondo. And, like, the belt system in Taekwondo is, like, about, like, a seed growing from the earth. You know, it's like brown for the dirt, green for the grass, blue for the sky, yellow for the sun. You know, it's like, it's cool. And that's why it was Seed of Life. But then I just kept the name as like a placeholder thing, and now it's just stuck. And I like Seed of Life as a name. It's very, very vague. It's like, what does this mean? What does this entail? And I love that. But, like, I need to have a story. I need to have a comic first. I have a story. I just need a comic to go along with it. But comics are hard, man. I mean, I started doing it, and, like, it was God, it was what? It was like a picture book. Really weird. And it was a cool idea at first. But then you get to a point where it's like, the chapters aren't built for this much detail, and it kind of destroys, like, a lot of the intrigue and stuff if you have to keep explaining everything. What can he hit me with? Oh my god, I do all this big dance and he hits me with a super. Fuck off, Inaba. I should probably explain, like, what is Seed of Life? What is this comic you're talking about? Well, you see, without giving too much away, it's basically a shonen. As I tried to describe it to a friend, I'm like, I want to make a shonen, but that's more like a seinen. And then he's like, no, you can't do that. It's impossible to do that. And he had another thing where it's like, it's impossible to write a good female, like, protagonist or a good female character. And I'm there saying, like, well, it's not about writing a good female character. It's just write a good character. It doesn't matter, like, what they are. It's just, is it a good character, yes or no? Whether they are male, female, whatever the hell else. Doesn't matter what they are. If they're a well-written character, they're a good character. It's when people try and write a female character to be a female character. Like, before you start doing, like, all this gender and stuff, you know, just write a good character. Like, it's very simple to understand. It's a story I've got a love-hate relationship with. Like, I love Seed of Life, but I also hate it. Mainly because of how many times I've had to rewrite the story. If it wasn't for that, I'd love it, but, like, I just keep forgetting what the original intention of it was. It was supposed to be wholesome and a bit silly, but then it, like, had serious moments too. But, like, I just forgot, and it just became so melodramatic for so long, and I'm like, I don't know. It's not going to be like a Tokajuku, like, you know, gag manga silly, but just, like, a bit more lighthearted. I want, like, a little bit of a dry feeling to it. You know, but like a bit like Grappler Baki, where it's like it's a bit silly, but like there's also heart behind it. You know, there's like some real bits behind it. Again, that's why I like Grappler Baki so much. It's like, you know, it's Baki just wants a normal childhood. There's a thing where it's like, Mum, if I beat my dad in a fight, will you say that you love me? And then she flips the fuck out and starts like biting him and slapping him and shit. And it's really depressing. It's horrible. But all Baki wants is a childhood. And then like it's like the writer just forgot that entirely. And we're just like, haha, fighting. Haha, caveman. Pac-Man. It's like, oh, this is so stupid, bro. It's what a dumb story Baki turned out to be. I mean, Grappler Baki was always dumb. Remember the comic bit where it's got like the Zulu guy and it's just got his penis? Crazy. Also the fact that in the anime, Baki's second fight or third fight is against a gorilla. He first fights a bunch of thugs, then he fights a world-class boxer, then he fights a big gorilla. Like, what is the scaling? It's always been dumb. Grappler Baki's always been stupid. But like, you know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to me. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to rebuy one of those. Whoops. Breaking accommodation property? Broken a bin? Don't know how I'm gonna explain that one. I'll just say I tripped and like knocked it and it snapped. Whoops, a daisy. That's my bad, to be fair. I feel embarrassed. But no, Grappler Baki's always been like really silly. It's just sort of Grappler Baki's always been really silly. It's just, I don't know, man. There's heart in it. It feels like there's heart in it earlier on, and then it sort of it dies out as it goes along, and it's sad. I just wish there was a bit more to it. I just wish there was more of that heart that there was in the initial stages of the manga. It is a shame. It is a shame, though. Alright, Gondo. Come on, buddy. Yeah, I'll fight like this actually. No, that's stupid. Too slow. Why is knockout stance even in the game? There's no reason for it to be in the game. Like, when your basic moveset is so fast and devastating anyway, why would you have one that's supposed to be like, oh, this is the strong one, but like also it's just terrible. Like, look at the speed you can take him out. I've barely even been able to use my super because I've just been destroying everything like with no effort. Dumb game. It's weird that he's not wearing like his full like suit. Like, Gondo should have had an outfit where like he has like the hat and the blazer and stuff. I mean, actually maybe he shouldn't have, because then I would have had to play the game with him twice. But you know, they weren't planning ahead for some random dickhead like what 20 years later to play the game as every character. I just realized these videos are gonna be like, the beginning is me like actually having like conversations, and then the majority of it is just gonna be me going la 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 la. How many videos have I got? A lot in the backlog. Crazy. It won't be by the time you see this video. They'll all be up. But just who gave you permission to play the game? I'd rather you just let me win. What is your defense going to do against someone like me? Answer, very little. Considering I took off like almost half your health. Oh no. I mean, props to Jose. Bro gets up pretty quick. After being like that, I'd be down for good. If this mammoth of a man came in, throwing this many uppercuts at me, I had to tank them all in 20 seconds. But you can bet I'm snoozing. I'm in dreamland at that point. Bro took Dreamland Express to a whole new level. Oh. Alright, I'm safe. I'm safe to just do whatever I want now for the rest of the round. Lol, one last time. Come on, take a drink with me. One last time. Come on, take a drink with me. Scamilton. Classic. Classic Scamilton. The more hell I put my throat through, the better it feels. Never take that advice. If you have a sore throat, do not do things that's going to aggravate the throat. Because, goddamn, having a sore throat is something I've had to go through many a time in my life, and I hate it every time. It's one of the most annoying pains to me. I love to eat food, so like when something happens and it stops me from eating food, oh, I get mad. I get mad. I had a thing, not long ago actually, I think, where I thought I had tonsillitis. I didn't. I never had tonsillitis. But, yeah. Made it hard to eat food. I still did. I still ate, like, spicy food and shit. Which I shouldn't be doing, but yeah, I did anyway. I'm not a spice guy, not a massive spice guy. I like jalapenos. Yeah, I do like jalapenos. I love jalapenos, actually. But, I don't know, man. I like it. I'm not the biggest spice guy. I'm not the Spice Girls. But like, I like it sometimes. Jalapenos they're just amazing. Like, they're sweet, but like they're also, you know, spicy, and I like that. I like that about a jalapeno. It's got that sweetness, but the spice to it. It's like, it's nice. My kind of pepper. The only kind of pepper I actually eat is a jalapeno. I hate peppers, actually. I genuinely really do not like peppers. But like chili peppers and jalapenos especially, I love them. I just hate regular peppers. They taste too sweet to me. It's like sweet but nothing else. But it's like an overpowering taste of the pepper. It's just, not my thing, I'm afraid. You'll never catch me using a pepper in anything. Unless, again, it's jalapeno. I whack jalapenos on so much shit. Like, anything I can, jalapeno. Jelly, jalapeno. Ice cream, jalapeno. My own birthday cake, jalapeno. My ball sack, Trivago. Oh, Joe. You're supposed to be my friend. And yet you're treating me like we've never met each other. You didn't have to cut me off. Na 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 na, mama, we were nothing. Now I don't even need your love. You treat me like a stranger and it feels so rough. But you didn't have to cut me off. Mama, we were nothing, but I didn't even need your love. Now you're just somebody that I used to, Joe. Now you're just somebody that I used to, Joe. What was that note? That was certainly not in the song. Used to, Joe. Terrible. I'm surprised I actually remember the note. I do that a lot, like, oh, what a terrible note. And then I do it again, and I'm like, well, that's not right, is it? That's just not the note, is it? I got my own, like, incorrection wrong. Incorrection. Bruh. This is enough Joe for me today. For like 4 parts. Oh, he's having a big stretch. Number 1. I see a 1. I see a 1. That's how I feel.